I have pulled out all the stops in the witchy shit. So I have, some statuary. I have handmade goods. Well, a lot of handmade goods. I have books. Um, oh goodness, I have wall art. So things that are totally giftable and totally lovable, and but also like really cool to add to your witchy collections. Because I don't know about you, but I have such a collection of different like ritual tools and spell herbs and resins and salts and all that kinds of stuff. So um yeah, I I really love what I do. I have I've been a witch for over 20 years, and I have been a professional witch for over 7. It has been one of the most amazing things I've ever done with my life, to be honest. Um, yeah. So, yeah, I love what I do. But anyways, I guess what I'm going to talk about first is my Mama Gaia statue. Mama Gaia is, a figure that's known in many, many different cultures. Um, in the Celtic, I think that the figure, I don't know if she necessarily belongs to any certain path, but um, that would be something to research quick. Uh, Gaia origins. If I can spell. There we go. Oh, it's Greek. So Gaia comes from Greek mythology. Um, but yeah, so she is the primordial goddess. She created Earth. That's why she's depicted with having Earth as her belly, because she gave birth to it. And so I personally have been working with Mama Gaia. Hi, Minx, Minxie Moon. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am just talking about Mama Gaia here. I have her available for sale. Let me just pin her quick. Hi, Gaia. No. Oh, I guess I didn't. Let me see, where is she? Here we go. But yeah, so Gaia is a goddess that um, exists um, around the world. So in Greek mythology, she's Gaia. In South America, she is Pachamama. Um, yeah, so I know that there's other ones. I just cannot pull them off the top of my head. But yeah, I am going to run a flash sale on her today. I have her listed at 25. Hello, Emerald. Welcome in. Welcome in. I was just about to say, like, if you are interested in me running a flash sale on my Mama Gaia statue here, this is her. She is um, a resin cast. And as you can see, she has beautiful painted, like, creatures in her hair. I love the braid texture. If you're into her, give me some green hearts, and I will run a flash sale on Miss Mama Gaia here. And she's totally new. Most of my products today are brand new. I do have some used books. Oh, goody, goody. All right, let's run Mama Gaia. All right. Run as a flash sale, and we'll give you 25% off. All right. So it is running now. So 1875, and she could be all yours. But yeah, like I said, she is gorgeous. The color, I don't know if you could tell, but even her skin. Oh, you got 17 seconds to take advantage of that flash sale. Awesome! Congratulations, Emerald Willow. I'm so excited for you. And Mama is going to be a great addition to your home. Let me just put her aside. So, to go with that, I also have this beautiful stainless steel chalice that it has the Earth Goddess symbol on it. Let me just put her front and center. As you can see, the reflection kind of makes it a little challenge, but Absolutely. I am so happy that you came today. Yay. But if you are looking for a chalice to go with your Mama Gaia, I also have her. Here we go. So this is stainless steel and it is food safe. Let me get this up. Um, here we go. Pin. So yeah, and I will gladly run a flash sale on this beautiful thing. Like I said, it is food safe and it's stainless steel, so it won't get tarnished. Um, if you are interested in the goddess chalice, just put a heart in the comments and I will run that flash sale. Um, but yeah, I love the detail. It's so beautiful. I don't know if you could tell because of the lighting, but the etching is it's not etched. It's like painted, I guess. It's purple, but you know, sometimes it's challenging to see the true color online. But yeah, so I have this, and it so that and then it has the base here. The base, oh geez, has like hearts in it. I just love it. So if anyone wants me to run a flash sale on the chalice, I actually have three chalices to show today. This is just one of the three. But I have one goddess and then I have a tree of life one that is more of a Celtic design instead of a Norse path design. And then I have a beautiful vintage uh, solid brass chalice, which I'm super excited about. So I haven't seen any hearts in the comments, so I will move on to something new. And maybe we'll come back to this later. So the next thing I want to show is my Lady Body vase. Now I came across this gem this summer and I am like, okay, let's see, she's a little big. I'll just hold her up. There we go. So like I said, she's a vase, and it's like the lower half of the lady, and she's mostly naked, and it looks like she has a um, I don't know, scarf skirt, but you could see her butt, and I'm just like, who doesn't want some lady buttons, honestly? And it's beautiful. I think that this is gypsum, perhaps. I'm not, well, maybe not gypsum. It's white and it has a lot of like, I don't know if you could tell. We'll see. There's like sparkles in there. So if you are interested in my lady butt vase, um, just put some peaches in the comments and I will run her. Yeah, let me pin her up. Uh, Lady. Is she there? There we go. And there we go. Pin. And she's just $5. But she's still so cool and it would be a fun addition to your collection if you're creating a goddess altar or are just really, I don't know, into just feminine figures for decoration. Also, even though it's supposed to be a knotted, I don't know, we'll say skirt, sarong perhaps, I honestly think it just looks like a giant clitoris, but maybe that's just me. So, hello, Stacy. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am showing my lady vase right now. I have her pinned for $5. So if you would like to own this gorgeous lady vase, maybe she's just ceramic. Yeah, because she has a good sound. Anyway, and like I said, you could tell that she is sparkly. She has these cool, like, sparkly inclusions. So if you're interested, throw some peaches in the chat and I will put her up live. Otherwise, I am going to move on to some new things. So, as you can see in the forefront, this is my Florida water. Love my Florida water. I have been making it for years. It is one of my top sellers at my shop. And when I go to shows, oh, hello, Terry. Welcome in, welcome in. So yeah, when I go to shows, when I do live shows, like in person artist markets, I guess, my Florida water is my top seller. And it's because it's super easy to use. And let me, I'm trying to, let me see here. Florida. I'm modding my own show. So, you know, it's a little fumbly. So anyway, okay, I got the description up. But yeah, it's really nice if you can't burn things in your home or your office because maybe they don't allow burning. Like you're like, okay, I work in an office and I really just need to clear the vibe, clear the energy, but I can't burn incense. I can't burn candles, can't burn sage because, offices kind of don't want fires inside. I don't know, weirdos. But the Florida water is perfect for that because it's made to be an energy cleansing spray. So, it is something that I brew over 2 months. I always do 2 moon cycles. This is actually a special batch because it has seawater from the Gulf of Mexico. It has full moon water in it. It has witch hazel in it. And then I steep whole herbs in there to extract all the essential oils and constituents and magic. And then I triple strain it to make sure it's very clear of sediment. And that way the sprayer doesn't get like jammed up, because early batches, these are lessons I have learned. Like, while it is pretty to put like herbs in a spray bottle, it just disintegrates after a while, and then it gets to be a clogging issue, and nobody wants to deal with the frustration of a clog when you're trying to clear a vibe, right. So anyways, if you are interested in my Florida water, I do normally sell it for $9, but I will run a little flash sale today, just as because we're getting closer to the holidays, and honestly, it is super helpful to have that cleansing spray available when people are coming in and out of your home. So yeah. So anyway, if you're interested, just maybe drop a little heart or something in the chat, and I can run that little flash sale for you. So anyways, I am going to show next my little baddie friend. So one thing I love about this little baddie, it's a cat bat, right? So he's got a little kitty face. See his little kitty face with little twofers? Oh my goodness. Hang on. Bat. Maybe it's just bat. There we go. So I have him up for 12, and I could run a little flash sale today for him if you guys are interested. But yeah, so he's made out of cast resin, and you could see oh my goodness, I love his little wings. And he's got a little, let's see if I can get him in shot here. There. He's got a little like scully on his collar. So he's a skull with a little like, I think it's I don't know. I think it's just sort of a skull symbol. Maybe something you would see like in older cemeteries, especially in the Bayou region, I think. But anyways, got his little teethers. He's like a vampire, demon, kitty. He's got these little crescent moons that kind of look like horns, but also the pentacle. Yeah. Look at those little wings. Little baby wings. So, yeah. There's a little guy. I also have his big brother, Baffy. So the Bat Kitty is sort of like influenced by, the design is influenced by Baphomet. So, and I have his big brother Baffy too. Look at him. I love Baphomet as a figure. I think the thing that makes Baphomet interesting is that they have both genders. So they have breasts on top and penis on the bottom. And yeah, so in a way, I feel for, I'm part of the queer community, so the intersex folk, I feel like this would be, oh, hello, ATL. Yeah, hello. Okay. I'm showing Baphomet right now. If you are into Baphomet, just put a little bat in the chat and I will run a little flash sale today. I'm running a flash sale on my items as a way to give folks a little, um, give them a little, I don't know, um, I guess, holiday discount thing. It's kind of like Black Friday, only I do it whenever I want. It's Black Friday on a Thursday, 2 weeks late, because that's how I roll. Well, maybe a week late. I think Black Friday was just a week ago, right? I don't know. Uh, but anyway, love me Baffy. So Baffy is cast resin. So he's not super heavy, but he's not super light. So I think that his body might be a little hollow, but his wings are solid. And I love the detail in the wings. He is just so cool. And it's this sort of bronzy colored paint, and I love that the black in it also gives it lots of detail. So you can see a lot of like the detail in the feathers, um, as well as like in his fur. And I don't know if you could tell. Oh, there we go. So you can see he's holding a shield with like two snakes, like intertwined. Oh, I think it's around a sword. Yeah, two snakes around a sword. So there, he's kind of sitting yoga style. But I love him. He's got so much detail. So much detail. He's such an interesting figure. I want to kind of look him up a second. So, Baphomet. Baphomet Origins. There we go. Oh, interesting. So he's tied to the Knights Templar. It says he appeared in the 14th century when the order was accused of heresy and forced to confess under torture to worshiping a head or idol called Baphomet. And Knights Templar, I think they were Catholic, because I know that the Knights Templar, I believe they existed to guard, um, what do you call those people? Basically, people that were traveling to Mecca to whatever Catholic Mecca is. So they were traveling to the holy city, and the Knights Templar were created as a way to guard them from like robbers and murderers and whatever danger they may come across on the road. So it's interesting. I didn't know the Baphomet had ties to the Knight Templar. We learn something every day. But I'm sure that because the Knights Templar have their roots in Catholicism, yeah, that it probably came from somewhere else. Because no hate on the Catholics. Well, not a lot of hate. Maybe a little bit. Mostly because Catholicism was kind of the downfall of lots of things. But I'm not getting into that right now. Um, Maybe I'll save that for a TED talk. Be like, let's talk about the problem with organized religion. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. And of course, I always have my cauldron of coffee to get me through because yeah, I'm 15 squirrels in a human suit. So I will save Baffy here for a little later. I think for now, let's chat about. Ooh, how about some celestite? So this celestite is a geode form, but it's also an egg form, which I absolutely adore. I love it. And so, um, got a little air bubble. So celestite is a a crystal that is associated with like connecting to let's see here if I have E-L-E-S. I do. And let me pin Pin item. Here, let me look it up. Celestite. I have these available for sale, by the way, these crystal Bibles. Let's see here. Celestite. Celestite. CEL. I know my alphabet. Okay. Nice thing about these books is it has a color photo of the stone so you know what you're looking at. Okay. So, celestite. They come in blue, yellow, red, and white. The appearance is transparent pyramidal crystals as medium to large cluster or geode or plate like piece. Their rarity, easily obtained but quite expensive. Source Britain, Egypt, Mexico, Peru, Poland, Libya, Madagascar. The attributes. Celestite has a high vibration and is a teacher for the new age. It is imbued with divine energies. It takes you into infinite peace of the spiritual and contacts the angelic realms. It jumpstarts spiritual development and urges you toward enlightenment. It is a useful stone for stimulating clairvoyant communication, dream recall, and journeys out of the body. This beautiful crystal promotes purity of the heart and attracts good fortune. It heals the aura and reveals truth. It is a stone that brings balance and alignment. The deep peace it holds assists in conflict resolution and in maintaining a harmonious atmosphere in times of stress. Celestite can improve dysfunctional relationships by opening a space for peace negotiation. Holy cow, that could be super helpful, especially heading into the holidays when everything is high stress because you have people coming in, to visit, or you're traveling. You got to pack the kids, you got to entertain the kids, you got to deal with mom and how she's nagging. You know, you know how it goes. So having some celestite with you, or even just like setting it up in a room where you guys are going to spend time, it can improve dysfunctional relationships by opening a space for peaceful negotiation. So, yeah, navigating all those difficult conversations, especially if you have different political views, different religious views, it can be really challenging to go to family dinner during the holidays. So, I recommend um, grabbing you some celestite. And while the egg form isn't like something you can necessarily stick in your pocket, because this is a hefty girl. I mean, she probably weighs like 4 or 5 pounds, right? She's small, but she dense. Um, yeah. I have her on a little base too, which I'll send with her to you. That's what I mean. But Celestite is a creative stone, especially useful for the arts. Psychologically, celestite imparts gentle strength and enormous inner peace, despite urging toward greater openness to new experiences. It is a teacher of trust in the infinite wisdom of the divine. With its calming effects, celestite can cool fiery emotions. Mentally, celestite calms and sharpens the mind, dispersing worries and promoting mental clarity and fluent communication. Oy vey. Again, really great for like the holiday drama, right? Cooling, fiery emotions, calming. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can get real anxious during the holidays. It's always hard. Everyone's got their own family drama, right? They have their own like challenging family dynamics. And while it took me, so it's so funny when I was first became a witch and or pagan, I got into it through Wicca, which a lot of people do, I think. People call, at least in the community that I have been a part of, which has been, I don't know. I mean, I've probably met a couple hundred people in the pagan community, and a lot of folks agree that Wicca is sort of the gateway into paganism, you know? And I think part of it is as a kid, because I was a kid, I was like 17, 16, 17. Um, I was, do, 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 do. Um, I thought Wicca was the same as witchcraft. I think that's where I was going with this. And so I was really interested in witchcraft, But I found Wicca because I found a book, right? And that's how it started. I found a book on Wicca and I flipped through it and it talked about different ceremonial magics and stuff like that. And I found that while it was a really good tool, it was Scott Cunningham's Wicca for the Solitary Practitioner, I believe. Um, while it was a really good first, like getting my feet wet kind of thing, I found that over the years, and I think everyone does this, right? Over the years, I just kind of grew away or out of Scott Cunningham's um, thought realm, I guess, because, while at the time when he wrote the book, it was important to like record those traditions, right? I think that he didn't have a complete idea of what it meant to be Wiccan or what it meant to be a witch or what it meant to be pagan or what it meant to be part of this community. And it is a community, right? We call ourselves a community, just like the LGBTQ community calls themselves a community, even though they don't all love the same and look the same. They all feel drawn to each other because they're cast as the other. So they're the others that band together, kind of a thing. We're the brothers from the other mother, brothers and sisters. And anyway, so again, the idea of community, right, are a bunch of people that are either living in the same situation or are share the same faith, etc., etc. Anyways, I digress. I digress so hard. Um, hmm, I don't even know where that tangent was going. So let's get back to celestite. Okay. So mentally, celestite calms and sharpens the mind, dispersing worries and promoting mental clarity and fluent communication. It aids the analysis of complex ideas. This stone synthesizes intellect with instinct and promotes mental balance. Placed on the third eye, celestite opens a connection to the universal energies. It brings a vision of peaceful coexistence with the whole of creation and holds the possibility of total harmony. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? Total harmony. Healing. Celestite is an excellent healing stone, dissolving pain and bringing in love. It treats disorders of the eyes and ears, eliminates toxins, and brings cellular order. Its soothing influence relaxes muscle tension and calms mental torment, right? And then that whole mental torment thing, I believe, is also kind of what they were talking about earlier about like calming and sharpening the mind, dispersing worries, mental clarity, and the fluent communication. So really, so stones that are this color, because when we talk about crystal magic, we talk about the actual like vibration frequency of the stone, right? And it's like material mineral makeup, right? So we talk about the magic of that, but we also talk about the magic of color. And the stones of this color are often associated with the throat chakra, right? Which the throat chakra also is like the ears, right? It's your voice. So, you know, um, so it deals a lot with communication, being heard, not just being heard like I'm listening to you, but like I'm hearing the words you're saying with the intent in which you mean, and not through the lens of my perception, not through the lens of my trauma, not through the lens of my anger, that sort of thing. So, colored stones like this are great for having in spaces where difficult conversations happen, which, like we were talking about earlier, or I was talking about earlier, that having this in a space where, if you're having holiday get togethers, having it in a space where um, people tend to gather like living rooms or kitchens. At least that's where my family gathered. Some people have rec rooms. Some people go to the garage. I've been to family gatherings where the person hosted it in their garage. Um, I don't know. Is that just a Wisconsin thing? I'm not really sure. But either way, right? Have a six of one, half a dozen of another. Means the same thing, right? So put it where the people are, and I guarantee you that it will certainly help, right? So maybe dumb Uncle Richard will be less inclined to say that dumb thing or start that conversation or bring up that one time Aunt Betty, said or did this thing, and they're still really pissed about it, you know, because literally nobody has time for that, right? And some people are just petty and need a reason to cause drama. And even though they say, I don't want drama, I feel like the people who say they don't want drama are exactly the people who bring drama to their lives. And I'm kind of dealing with that in my own life a bit, um, where a person in my life has said that they don't want drama. And I'm like, oh, I moved away because of family drama, and I don't talk to people because of family drama. But you better believe every single time I talk to her, it is all family drama, all of it, all the time. And I swear to God, I can't buy a piece of celestite big enough. I can't buy a piece of celestite big enough to make it stop for her. Can I build a house out of celestite? Probably not. Probably not. Although my gnome brain really, really wants to, because that would be so pretty. But also, celestite doesn't like water. Don't stick it in water. It will cause the crystals to come loose. So I learned this that stones that end in ite, like celestite, don't like water. Selenite, not like water. Well, and part of selenite doesn't like water because, well, it's made of gypsum, and gypsum is water soluble. I mean, it's not. I had a friend who I gave them a piece of celestite, and they were going to give it to their partner. I think I gave it to them to give to their partner because they like to collect little bits or shardy bits. If you're my friend Katie, so they like to collect shardy bits. And being that I'm a witchy shop and I order in crystals, I always have little shardy bits. And so I gave my friend that piece of selenite for their partner, and they forgot about it in the pocket of their pants and washed it, and it was gone. On the plus side, that load of laundry was so energetically cleansed. And, I'd like to think that, they blessed their washer that day. So, long story short, crystals that end in ITE, not friends of water. So, anyway. Healing. Okay, so as with all blue crystals, celestite is an effective opener and healer of the throat chakra and its associated physical conditions. So, like sore throat, if you have sort of a persistent little tickle in your throat, especially if you are with someone or at a place where you feel like you're not speaking your truth, like that energy center will let you know, right? So maybe you'll have a tickle in your throat or something that, like, you say you have a frog in your throat because it just feels like uncomfortable, or it almost feels like you're being silenced, right? That is your throat chakra telling you something, right? Like maybe you're feeling shut down or silenced by people in the room or by the situation, right? Or you feel like it's unsafe to speak your truth. So listen to your body. Your body knows, right? Your body knows. Okay, it says position. Place as appropriate or use for meditation and scrying. A large piece of celestite placed within a room heightens the vibrations in that room. Bada boom. Do not place in direct sunlight as color will fade. Also really important. That's true with amethyst, and citrine. I mean, I know some citrine is heat treated amethyst, and the reason why the color can change is because it's sensitive to light. It's sensitive to heat. So, um, if you place your amethyst, place your citrine, place your celestite, I think any of these sort of like paler crystalline um, crystalline crystals, if you place these in the sunlight, direct sunlight, over a period of time, it will bleach the color. So be mindful of that. The only crystals I have in my window are what I call wild quartz, because when I'm out walking around, you better believe I am always finding chunks of quartz everywhere. And it's the easiest stone to identify, like for me, anyways. And so I'm walking around and I find a cool piece of quartz and I bring it home and I put it in my windowsill. So you will always find a pile of wild quartz pieces in the windowsills of my house because, oh, hi, Kelly Fitz. Welcome in. Welcome in. I remember you from last night at Kiki's thing. So welcome in. I am talking about this beautiful babe, Celestite. I have two large Celestite bebes. This one is the Celestite egg. And I was just talking about how, with the holidays coming up, that a chunk of Celestite would be perfect to have in your house or someplace where you're going, where people gather, because it is the anti-family drama stone. It raises vibrations. It, makes it so the room feels calm and peaceful, but also makes it easier to communicate with others. And so today I'm going to run a flash sale on it. So if you are interested in this gorgeous babe, just drop a blue heart in the chat. I also have the Celestite in a heart shape if you are interested in her. So that's the heart-shaped one I have. Otherwise, I have the egg. And yeah. So, yeah, like I said, the Celestite, it says, can improve dysfunctional relationships by opening a space for peaceful negotiation. Psychologically, Celestite imparts gentle strength and enormous inner peace despite urging toward greater openness to new experiences. So it not only is gorgeous, it is also super helpful, especially going into the holidays. And so I'm running a flash sale on a lot of my higher ticket items as a way to kind of give folks a little, gift from me to you, but also give you a chance to bring something new into your life for you or as a gift. So again, if you want me to run the flash sale on the Celestite, the egg, or the heart, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the next thing. And I've been reading from this Crystal Bible book. I have two of them that I'm going to run in my used book pull. So if you want me to start book pulls, I have a whole ton of books that are all of them are very witchy, woo-woo, occult aligned. But yeah, so just let me know if that's something you want to do. Just, you could do the bananas. I know Kiki likes bananas, but for me, I like hearts. So anyways, that is that. So I will move this babe out of the way and I will next talk about my Cosmic Augury simmer pot. So I make this simmer pot myself. Here, let me pull it up here. Here we go. Pin. There. So I have it starting at 8. I normally sell a jar like this for 16 in my shop. As you can see, like, it is not a small jar, and it's beautiful. It has this cool, like, yeah, you can tell this sort of honeycomb texture on the side of the bottle. And so my simmer pots are created from herbs that I gather. I do a lot of my own herb gathering, um, partly because foraging for herbs makes me happy, but also it's a way for me to connect with the earth and to honor my connection to the greater nature that exists. And yeah, so this simmer pot specifically, my cosmic augury. So the word augury is just a fancy word that means divination. It really kind of covers everything that is in that divination realm. And so it'd be good if you are trying to do more lucid dreaming or more like psychic dreaming, where you're trying to get messages either from your guides, from your ancestors, um, and trying to connect with a higher spiritual level. Um, it not necessarily for connecting with a deity, if that's kind of your vibe, but it can be used to just sort of open yourself up psychically, spiritually, to yeah, I guess to nurture yourself and make yourself more open. I guess that's where I'm going. Yeah. So anyway, if you are interested in me running this, I can certainly start the auction. Just drop a heart in the chat. Um, you can also, aside from a simmer pot, if you've never done a simmer pot before, it is like super easy, like baby witch level kind of spell work. You just put some of the herbs here. I can show you too. This has a flip top that I have taped, but I can just screw off the cap. And so there you can see the herbs inside. Um, you just put a couple of scoops of this into a pot with some water and then put it on your stove. I actually like crock pots. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so earthy and green. I love it. It smells like summer to me. That's what my house smells like in the summer when I'm drying all my herbs. So, yeah. Um, so yeah, simmer pots, super easy to do, super basic for baby witches, and it can also be used as incense. So if you're like, I don't really use simmer pots, you can certainly burn it as an incense too, because it can be used either way. So you can use it to sort of cleanse your space. Once you are ready to maybe sit down with your tarot cards. And that's the other way to do it. Like, I like to burn herbs or use herbs when I am doing divination, because it kind of like you're setting the stage for success. That's what I think of. When I'm doing that kind of spell work, I'm setting the stage for success. So, yeah. Um, when you do that, then I feel that the message kind of comes across easier. So anyway, burn it, boil it, whatever you want to do. So yeah, let's see here. What do I got here? I mean, every time I make this, I make it a little different because I use whatever I have on hand, because that's the thing, is my magic is so feral and chaotic that I never make something the same twice, because I use what's in season. I use what I have on hand. And there is so much out there, in the plant world that offers similar energies that, yeah, I, I give everyone a chance to be part of the magic. I guess that's where I'm at with that. So, let's talk about. Let's see. Oh yeah, and on the back I do have all the instructions on how to use it as a simmer pot. So again, if you aren't sure how to use it when you get it, no worries, I got you covered. So the next thing I'm going to set up is, move these guys out of the way, is this moon magic kit. So I don't know if you can tell. Let's see here. If I can make it look all pretty for the camera. I'll do that. And I'll do this. Some of it you won't see because it's white on white. I guess I could take it off the plate, but it's so tidy. Anyway, okay. So this is my full moon magic ritual kit. So if you today is the last day of the full moon for the year. This is the last full moon of the year. It is the super moon. It is the cold moon, and oh my god! So yesterday was the peak of the cold moon, and it lived up to its name. It was our first below zero day of winter. We got to about 5 below, I think. Mm. And yeah, we got to 5 below. And I gotta write this down first. Got to 5. In it, yeah. Um, hmm, hang on. My brain just wandered off. Let me write this down quick. Great. Okay. So yeah. I did not do a ritual last night, but the moon woke me up at like 4 o'clock this morning. And it demanded I go and, I don't know, I guess speak to it. I speak to the moon. Am I alone in this? Does anyone else talk to the moon? She, I do, I do a lot of magic surrounding the moon. I think it's because I just feel so drawn to her energy and I feel so affected by her energy. Normally around the full moon, I don't sleep. Um, let's see here. I don't have, let's see here. Maybe I do. Oh, I do. Full moon spell kit. Let me pin that. Boom. So I have it pinned and I have it as an auction item because all total, I mean, I would sell something like this at my shop for like $18 because I put a lot of time and energy into it. And so the kit comes, I mean, so a $10 start is a really good deal. It comes with this bath soak. So there's 4 ounces of bath soak in here. And this is all hand blended. I do all my own witchery creation because it's important to me. It's how I share my magic with other people, as well as share my magic with other people, as well as connect with deities and connect with my spirituality. So when I create, I am like in communion with the spiritual energy that exists in the world. And that, especially when I do that herbal magic, like I'm connecting with the magic of the herbs, I'm connecting with the magic of the process, but also the influence I feel from just like, I don't know, the cosmic magic. And people ask me a lot like how I work with my deities. And I guess there are times that I do specific things for my deities to connect with them, but a lot of the time I just carry them with me all the time. So when I'm crafting, I feel like a part of them is working through me. Like I am being influenced and empowered and guided by their will, I guess. Um, and my like reverence for, goddess energy, for God energy, um, I don't really work with God energy. I don't work with masculine energy often. Occasionally I will, I guess, bid, not bid, I will petition Odin for help, especially like protection help when I need a guardian. So he's that guardian energy, that big, like, big, he's the all father, right? So he's got the dad, the big, like, stern, fatherly energy. And in that way, I really appreciate Odin and what he has to offer to the situation. Speaking of Odie, I call him Odie. My husband, who is a Norse path, he's just like, "Are you sure Odin likes to be called Odie?" I'm like, yes, he does. Because that is how I speak to him. So if you are also interested in working with Odie, with my Odin, I do have one statue available of him. Um, but yeah, so I work with Odin when I work with masculine energy. I also work with, um, who else do I work with? I also work with, um, oh my goodness, what is his name? Elephant faced god. What is the elephant faced god? Ganesh. I also work with Ganesh. Um, and I think that part of the reason I'm drawn to Ganesh is because he's an elephant faced deity. I mean, how can you go wrong? He's cute. He's cute. Um, and I am always like super, um, I'm always super cognizant of things like cultural appropriation. Oh, hello, Nikki Loves Antiques. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Right now, I am showing my Odin statue and speaking on masculine deities in the sort of pagan witchy realm. Um, yeah, I'm also running a little flash sale on most of my items. So if there is something that you are interested in seeing, just let me know. I did list a bunch of stuff in my buy it now and my auction items. So for things that are buy it now, I'm running flash sales on those items. And for things that are listed in the auction, well, I have prices listed on those. I do have a few things probably in this pile of stuff that I do not have listed yet, but um, just let me know. So yeah. Mm. So yeah. So speaking on Odin, oh, but also on Ganesha. So I don't know. Is it okay to work with a deity because you think he's cute? And there's people that date people because they're cute. So I figure if I can date someone who's cute, I could probably, revere someone who's cute. Oh, that's silly. That's silly. Anyways, um, boy. Well, yeah, Odie here. Odie's got all that dad energy, right? So if you're like, I really want to work with a masculine deity who feels fatherly and intelligent and masculine without feeling overbearing, without feeling like I'm unworthy, right? Because that is my number one thing with Christianity is that I feel like people call him God, people call him the Lord, some people call him Father, right? Although interestingly, people call priests Father, which I find really weird if God is also Father, because there's like the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. It's almost like the priest is aligning himself with God as like God, like he is God incarnate on the planet. I never really put those together until just now. Oh, hello, Aprada. Welcome to the show. So, yeah, anyways, tangent. Whoa, tangent. Um, well, yeah, just hanging out on my couch, having some coffee. Mm. So, I think next, did I ever grab a stand? I don't think I did. I think I need a stand of some variety. How am I going to make that happen? Oh, hello, Jess. Welcome to the show. Yeah, so let's see here. Oh yeah, because I wanted to do a random book poll. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's see. We'll set you up. Set one of you up. Great. Set one of you up. Oh. There, I guess. I think I lost Patty in the shot. There we go. Cool. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I was going to grab a book stand or something to use like a book stand because I have books and I would like to show them. Or art. I have art too. Let's go to auction. Pin item. There we go. So yeah, you can come down. I'm still live, but I'm currently alone. How was the taco stuff?
I actually liked it more on the second day.
Isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah.
So yeah, I pinned the lavender sage that I grew this year. So this year I wanted to try something new, so I did an herb garden, and I've grown herbs before, but usually just like sage or basil. I did basil a lot, at my old house. But at the new house, I wanted to try something different. And so I went out. There's a little greenhouse that grows like organic lavender and organic sage, and they have a bunch of other organic things. And yeah, I had bought some lavender plants, and I had never been successful at growing lavender before. Like I have tried growing them from seeds, and it did not happen. I think I tried getting a live plant, but over the summer, I was doing this show at a nursery. Well, it was like a greenhouse slash tree nursery. I think they were mostly a tree nursery. Anyway, I digress again. Anyway, I met someone there who was vending who has a local lavender farm. And I was like, okay, let me talk to you about my lavender. And so we spoke, and he told me that lavender needs a lot of direct sunlight. So I was like, oh, there's my problem. So I moved it to the the sunny side of the porch where it could get lots and lots of sunlight during the day. And that sucker grew, and I was very happy. So, she grew flowers and beautiful leaves and stuff. And so at the end of the season, I'm like, well, what am I going to do with all this lavender? And so I had harvested it as well as my sage, and I left it on the stem. And then while it was still wet, I hand tied it and then put it in the oven and dry, like, what's the word? Dehydrated it. So then it got to be dehydrated. And now it's dry for, I also tied, like, I wrapped a little tissue around it to help sort of preserve it and give you some place to hold. Um, Mostly for like when people were shopping and stuff. That way you didn't pick it up and like the whole thing crumbles in your hand, because dried herbs are like that. I mean, any sage bundle you pick up. And mine, because I wrapped it to have sort of an open end, I liked how that looked, that sort of fan look. Um, I also wonder if it would help it burn better, because I don't know about you, but when I've tried burning sage bundles that I got from the store, um, I feel like they're so tightly packed that they don't like to stay lit, or they go out. They either don't light very well or they go out really fast. So I thought, well, I'll leave it sort of fan shaped and see if that helps with the burning. But also, I really liked how it looked. It's so aesthetic. So, anyways, so the Sage bundle, like I said, it has organic lavender and organic sage, and then I also put forget me not flowers in there, which are those purple flowers you see. You kind of see in the foreground. Oh, hello, Gordon. Welcome to the show. You'll see the sage in the foreground, or the little purple flowers in the foreground. And those are the forget me not flowers, and those I actually dried myself. I bought them at the store because I didn't. I'm pretty sure you can grow them in my zone. I just didn't. So yeah. And I use them as decoration because, lavender is really good for sleep, but it's also really good for like lucid dreaming. And then sage is really good. Hi, Kelly. Um, yeah, so sage is also really good for like spiritual cleansing, ritual cleansing. Um, yeah. So when you burn them, you can burn them in your bedroom before you go to sleep to help give you, sweet dreams, but also give you like dreams that will give you messages, like maybe from your ancestors, from your guides, from maybe from your higher self, or help you um, suss out sort of the lesson in the dream, because sometimes our dreams are places where we process our daily lives, and while we may not have been able to resolve things in our waking life, we can resolve them in our dreaming life. And so when we sleep, it allows our brain a chance to look at things from a different perspective, because we're not so preoccupied with um, the day-to-day stuff, like having to move on to the next thing, and not really being able to mull over things in the moment. Because honestly, I don't know about you, but I can be such a muller. Like, I need to ruminate on things, and I don't always give myself the space to do that when I'm awake. But when I dream, my brain will just like sort of run the thing. It's like background running. So the things that are running in the background when I'm awake come to the foreground when I'm asleep. And when I use things, when I burn herbs in my bedroom, when I use essential oils before bed, when I, put crystals next to my bed, all of these things help my brain do that heavy lifting while my physical body rests. So, anyways, so things like my lavender sage bundle, my Florida water, the celestite, all of those things, even the simmer pot. So basically, really, all those herby things that you see in the foreground of the camera right now, all of those would be great for mental health processing while you sleep. So I call it, tools for success. I want to give you the tools to be successful. And part of that success is going to come from trying new things, because part of what gets people stuck too, I think, is that you get in this loop and you're like, I keep getting on the ride, but the ride never changes, right? It's just the same damn thing and I can't get off this thing. So you keep buying a ticket for a train that goes nowhere. So anyways, but when you integrate something new like herbal magic from someone like me who is well practiced and well versed in all magic arts, or like in my version of magic arts, I don't want to say I know everything because that's ignorant. I don't know everything. But I do know a lot of things. And what I feel confident in is that I know my herbal magic because I have been doing herbal magic for a long ass time. And I spend a lot of time not only like formulating relationships with the plants, but also formulating my recipes, right? So I do a ton of research. I, cross reference with, all different kinds of books and digital, like I read blogs, I read books, I read, you know, Wikipedia entries. I don't know if Wikipedia is still around. Is I thought I like a couple of years ago they had posted that they were going to shut their page down, but I'll have to look. It's been a hot minute since I've been on Wikipedia, but if it's still around, I do recommend. Um, Another good source online that I would recommend if you're looking for someone who's smart with the herb thing and you want just like a quick resource, Grove and Grotto. They also have an online store, but I really like their research section. Their Where they have like articles on herbs and crystals and stuff. I don't know about crystals, but definitely herbs. So I will go there and just sort of cross reference what they have to say because oh, that's the thing about herbs. Mm. The things about herbs and crystals and really anything in the woo woo community is that um, not everyone agrees what something is good for. And so that's ultimately where your intuition comes in, using your intuition, but also if you don't trust your intuition to, utilize someone who does, if you can't trust yourself, find a mentor and they will help you find that in you, find that inner strength, find that ability. So yeah. Um, oh, oh, girl. So, yeah. Speaking of using things, a friend of mine yesterday gave me this solar plexus roll on oil. And every time I use it, it smells like something different. I don't know what it is. But what does it have in here? Lemongrass, yeah, petitgrain, melaleuca. Oh. Hmm. I smell the lemongrass. I guess I can smell the melaleuca. I don't know. I don't know what petitgrain smells like. But I am whole. I know my personal power and use it as a force for good in all of life. Mhm. That's a sweet mantra. I love stuff like this. So, what's next? Let's try some jars, shall we? So, I have these little 3 packs of jars. And I don't think I have these up, but um, the things, if you're interested, I can certainly add a temporary item. But the cool things about these jars is that they can tip on their side because they're like the vintage candy shop style. Mm, got the hiccups. Vintage candy shop style. Um, so yeah, I have them in packs of 3. I just have them tied together. I have 2 packs of them actually. So I have them at $5 a piece, which is a really good deal for these. So yeah. So if you would like me to run these, just drop a heart in the comments, um, because these would be great for storing your herbs, putting little crystals in, creating little gifts for people. It's nice because these are little twist top jars, you know, and they're such a fun shape. They would easily, the side of this could easily like have a sticker. You could draw a little sigil if you're going to do like something for protection, something for fertility, for money, all the things that people make spell jars for. This would be a really great spell jar, especially for a gift, because they are so cute, so cute. And witches love jars. I'm just saying, witches love jars. So just let me know if you would like that. Let's see here. Uh, do. Let's pin. Hmm. Oh, here we go. There. So I have 3 books in my witchy book random pull that have $1 start. So yeah. And it's, winner gets to pick which one they want. So I'll just set those there. So the books I have, the first one is this palmistry book. And so it says the perfect introduction to palm reading with clear illustrations. Whether you wish to learn about the lines and mounts that indicate your past, future, and present, identify the signs of financial success, health, love, romantic capability, and family in your hands, or grasp your personality, talents, and secrets, this is the essential guide to get you started. Along with establishing the 4 basic hand shapes within palmistry and explaining the different elements and how to observe the palm's natural topography, the Little Book of Palmistry will help you uncover more about yourself and become familiar with one of the oldest and most reliable of fortune telling arts. So, yeah. So, that is the first book available in the $1 used witchy book pull. Mm-hmm. So, we have palmistry. I also have a book called The Fortune Telling Kit, and it's just the book. I think that um, it may have come with a kit at like with items before, but this was before it came into my possession. And this book again is on the $1 pull, but it has a ton of information in here. So there's, let me see, what do they cover? Tarot, the I Ching, runes, palmistry, Western astrology, Chinese astrology, numerology, playing card magic, crystallomancy, which is working with crystals in a divination sense, dowsing and pendling. I did not know that using a pendulum was called pendling. Pendling? All right. Dreams, superstitions, and minor methods. I don't know what minor methods mean. 58. There's 38. But yeah, it's a full color guide. When was it printed? This was printed, looks like 1996. So, she vintage. But yeah, so here's like what the inside looks like. This is the part where I just sort of flip to the playing card section. Oh yeah, I was going to see about, let me see, page 56, wasn't it? Oh, we were here. Minor methods. This book describes all the major systems of divination and fortune telling currently employed in the United States and Europe. But there are many other methods, some ancient but still used by a few practitioners, others of quite recent origin. Oh, necromancy is in here. That's kind of cool. Bibliomancy. I have friends who've done bibliomancy. I've done bibliomancy. That's been kind of fun. Lithomancy. The method of fortune telling by means of stones requires a candle and a set of 11 semi precious stones or pieces of glass. Of these colors, blue, colorless, green, red, claret, turquoise, yellow, gray, violet, purple, and black, you must scatter the stones on a flat surface such as a tabletop. Then light the candle and set it in the middle of them. Turn off all other lights in the room. Close your eyes and concentrate. When you open your eyes, the first color you see reflected back at you by the candlelight determines the prophecy as follows. Ooh. You know what color claret is supposed to be? Asking for a friend. Claret. Huh. That's kind of cool. And then they say blue is good luck. The colorless one, which is probably clear quartz or clear glass, is happiness and success. Green is a wish granted. Red is romance. Claret is marriage. Turquoise is opportunity. Yellow is unfaithfulness. Gray is sadness. Violet is grief. Purple is a quarrel. Black is bad luck. Oh, jeez. Now I kind of want to try lithomancy. I'm just saying. I love divination. And there's tasseomancy. A similar lack of certainty tends to affect tasseomancy prediction by means of the patterns of tea leaf reading. I knew that. Pyromancy. Fortunes may be told by several different methods involving fire and burning. This is a very ancient method, probably prehistoric. Looking for shapes in the embers of a fire used to be a favorite diversion for children. Oh, but central heating has reduced its popularity. Weird. hmm this is best done quietly in a darkened room with a fire that is burned down to a mass of glowing coals. Throw a small handful of salt on the embers, and when the flames have died down, again, look hard for any recognizable shapes. Hmm. Lich, Lichnomancy. Oh, it means divination by lamps? What? Man, I am learning all sorts of things. I did not know this was a thing, and I've been doing this a long ass time. Sortilege. Oh, that's with dice. Casting of lots. It used to be carried out with marked pebbles and then later dice or occasionally dominoes. Today it is uncommon and seems to be practiced only with dice. The most common method is to draw a 12-inch circle, then take three standard dice and three standard dice, each six-sided and marked 1 to 6. Shake them and cast them into the circle. If one comes to rest outside the circle, your plans may be upset. If two do, expect quarrels. From the dice which do land in the circle, count the total spots on the uppermost face of each. Whatever the total, there is a divinatory meaning. Interesting. Huh. This is fun. Anyways, well, I suppose I have been on for over an hour and I've shown you many, many things. But the chat is super quiet and I think I'm going to call it for the day. So, for folks who ordered, thank you, thank you. And I will get your packages done up today and sent out. So, all right. It was lovely spending time with you. I hope you enjoyed all of the info dumping because I have shared much knowledge today. And yeah, stay magical, friends. that. Close that. Close that.